president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Democrats' reckless 43-day government shutdown did manage to do one valuable thing. It proved that America does not need a federal Department of Education.
What did the president mean when he called reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room.
I want to watch a couple clips of Karoline Leavitt speaking with reporters as the MAGA Coke Fest and Damage Control Tour continues. So if you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. We're really trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's just hop right into the debunking.
What did the president mean when he called reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves, and I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration.
Okay, so much is wrong here. First off, the lady didn't lie or even insinuate anything about Trump. She literally said verbatim, well, I might be a word or two off, if you're not incriminated in the files, why not just release them? To which Trump, who clearly just wasn't smart enough to dodge a question with such a logically obvious conclusion, just resorted to insulting her. This is misogyny at worst, and it's disrespect for the sake of being disrespectful at best to, protect your own image because you don't have an answer to a question. And the entirety of the right trying to reframe this behavior as frankness or it's just Trump being Trump is part of the exact normalization that allowed him to rise to office after sexually assaulting 23 women, after being found liable for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll, and then defaming the victim that he sexually assaulted on top of the blatant racism, misogyny, and other things that he exhibits regularly.
The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually,
every single
can refuse an illegal order, which
but
is
they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not.
Yeah, no, what they're saying is Trump has hinted or insinuated at doing illegal things before, shooting protesters, sending the military to polling places. I mean, it's genuine insanity. And we now have Trump saying the rules of engagement don't matter. I guess Hegseth said that. And Trump having reporters sign unprecedented NDAs if they even want to come to the Pentagon. It's actual valid cause for concern. And if we're talking about political violence and the rhetoric that causes it, it's never really been a question, right? It does exist on both sides, but it's far worse from Republicans. And it's pretty clear. Like you could see that after any tragedy. You can see it just from the fact that they do it on a top-down level. Their elected officials are taking part. Those in power are taking part. While on the left, it's condensed mainly to like randoms on Twitter. Not a single elected Democrat takes part in this rhetoric. Not a single elected Democrat has ever called Trump Hitler, anything like that. So to be like, no, it's the Democrats is kind of crazy when Trump is also marching the National Guard through blue cities, targeting Democrats for investigation publicly, right? Targeting Democrats saying they deserve death for their words. Like that's kind of crazy, along with the slew of insults and kind of things that they'll try to say, well, the Democrats call us a fascist. Well, Trump does that too. He also says we're communist, Marxist, which to MAGA is worse than being a fascist. So like the list goes on. It's sheer projection when they want to act like the victims.
Democrats' reckless 43-day government shutdown did manage to do one valuable thing. It proved that America does not need a federal Department of Education. During the longest shutdown in history, the Department of Education furloughed 90% of its staff, and America's education system was not impacted whatsoever. Schools stayed fully open across the country. Students attended class and received normal in-person instruction, and our wonderful teachers received their paychecks uninterrupted.
Yeah, no, as somebody who works in public education, this is not true. It's complete bullshit. Billing was an absolute disaster. The administrative level of special education was a mess because Trump cleared out OSERs. But when you want to see public education fail, when you don't care that special education gets left behind, I can see how this becomes an easy lie to tell. The problem with pulling away from the Department of Education and kneecapping public education is the most vulnerable populations are the ones who will be most affected by that. Black and brown people, people, women, the mentally disabled, low-income individuals. These are the ones who are relying on the Department of Education the most, which is just another reason why MAGA doesn't really care to watch it crumble. Notice how I didn't say wealthy in any of those demographics, because then they'd be rushing to stop it. I mean, just look at what they're doing. We literally have a WWE lady with no education experience currently in charge of the Department of Education who says time and time again she wants to see it go. That's where MAGA is at if you have any questions of their credibility when discussing public education.